Haha. Hey, what is going on, crypto people? Happy Father's Day to all the awesome fathers out there. Look, I'm going to get straight into it. It's just a very interesting time right now on so many different fronts, on so many different fronts. I think that was my son calling. It's just very, very interesting times. I'm going to get into a couple of things here. TheGreatTaken.com, I can't begin enough to stress how important that is. He, in the end, talks about the CBDC a bunch as well. TheGreatTaken.com, download the PDF, read the prologue, and then, make a choice from there if you want to learn more. He says in an interview, it's going to take a million people saying no to this great taking. And it's going to start at your local state level, state and local level to make it get done for sure. But educate yourself on it. It's been going around on the internet for a bit. There's a few Rumble channels on, which is, a way to really say what you want to say on Rumble, covering it as well. But in any case, let's get into this madness of the three-letter agency. It's called the SEC. It's just becoming just quite the embarrassment in so many ways. So Stuart already did this, posted this. He says, the SEC is raging. Ripple defended itself, agreeing to nothing. The court gave clarity that XRP, the digital asset XRP, is not a security. There are no quote unquote victims to compensate. And worst of all, for the SEC, Ripple is thriving. But at least the SEC seems to abandon its absurd demand for $2 billion. Crypto UK Insights reposted Stuart Alvarez's post. So after all this time, is the SEC only asking Ripple for 102 million? After their initial audacious claims of over 2 billion. Suits against Ripple execs and that XRP itself is a security. So think about it. A $2 billion claim, the suit did not involve any criminal, right? No, right? None of that. And they wanted a $2 billion remedy. Sue the executives personally. Personal harm, reputation, whatever. And they try to make the asset XRP a security. They lose everything, drop the stuff against execs, lose on the XRP as a security thing. Now they go from 2 billion to 100. So Crypto Insight says this. They dropped the exec suits, lost in the XRP clarification, and are now asking for 5% of the initial charge. 5%. Ripple has slapped the SEC all over the news and the courtroom. Well done. This should be illegal from the SEC, though. They are the ones who harmed retail, not Ripple. It's a crap show. It's an embarrassment. Look, I'm going to cover some stuff here in not any particular order, but I think, again, why is the U.S. House of Representatives even have a bill? It passed. This U.S. House of Representatives passes a bill automatically registering men ages 18 to 26 for selective service. What's going on? Are we prepared? I know that it is more than past time they really get prepared for some really nasty stuff. Like 1930s, depression, people not having any money kind of stuff. It really feels like we're very, very close to that. Very, very close. Robert Kiyosaki put this out. I've become frustrated encouraging people to buy Bitcoin. I've received so many lame excuses. The most common excuse, Bitcoin is too expensive and it's high, yet not as high as it's going to go. I simply repeat my rich dad's lesson on investing. Your profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. Your profit is made when you buy, not when you sell. And I point this out all the time about Robert Kiyosaki. He is a real estate and a gold guy. Big time. I mean, oil, big time. And he keeps talking about Bitcoin and gold and how he's buying Bitcoin and gold, Bitcoin and gold. I think there's just, when you become successful and you get wisdom kind of with the success and you get inside some rooms and some meetings and stuff, you just kind of know, and you can kind of come to the conclusion the best way to prepare for stuff. So the best way to prepare for stuff. We all wish we had bought Bitcoin when it was $10, but those days are long gone. Don't be a loser, says Robert Kiyosaki. Buy a little, what you can afford, and keep buying. Ashley Proper sums it up again. She said, Ripple says 10 million. Ashley says 100 million. Why not call it even and say 58 mil? It's going to be about that range. That's what she's, Judge Torres, in my opinion, is going to do. It's really won't be that hard. It's an interesting story, right? Kind of get the real life stuff. Another reason why to go to greattaking.com, download the PDF for free, and read the prologue. Anthony Basili says this: I paid my contractor in crypto today. When I asked if he accept crypto or stablecoin, he smiled. He works in the construction industry and deals in high dollar commercial deals. He said his bank, this is going on today. He said his bank regularly freezes his funds and even takes funds out of his account for periods while they, quote unquote, review the transactions. Take funds, they take it regularly. Take his money, forcing him to borrow or use personal money to run his business for periods as long as 90 days. He said he can almost guarantee now that he can't take cash out. He can't take cash out. What the heck is going on with banks? David Nagy here says, as we wrote during the banking crisis last year, they are risky because your assets are not your assets. They are the bank's liabilities. And if the bank screws up its own assets, its liability, which are your assets, are not so safe. Anthony Basili says, odd how many regular consumers and small businesses are experiencing this. Alexandru Fartad said, yes, that happens to me too. Wire transfers and checks get often frozen over 20K, even when it is a recurring customer payment. This definitely makes it hard to do business since we already have net standards. So sometimes we get paid big jobs at the one. Okay. Hard enough to put food on the table after inflation and interest payments. Also have to deal with frozen checks, bank delays. It's kind of real stuff going on right now. Highly encourage you guys to check out Hugo Filion from Flare Networks in this interview here with Henry Oslanian. It's very, very great. It's a very, very good interview. I've only gone through half of it. You want to learn a little bit more about what's going on. It's interesting to see someone who went to XRPL Apex say that that it was not great. This is apparently a builder that I don't know. It's just interesting to hear that, and I'm wondering if he's saying that. He says that the tech is not good. He says the tech is bad, and that they can't build on it the way that they want to build on it. So I'm going to read this, and I wonder if he's talking about things that he wants to build. And is he suggesting that Ripple can't do the tokenization and stuff that they want to do? I wonder. So anyway, let me read this real quick. XRPL Apex was terrible, and that's sad. We went there looking for reasons to continue to build on the XRPL and found none. Anyone who tells you otherwise was paid to be there. or chosen to shield their project. Don't listen to them. I mean, think about that accusation. The people on stage couldn't articulate anything properly, and the ones that could were showing boring tech that is completely outdated. What the heck has Ripple been doing? There are some great people in the space, but the tech just isn't there. And when a company's making millions from dumping on to their users, you would expect more. This tweet will get drowned out by the paid actors. Just being real. So anyway, on Ledger responded, it's sad. I've heard from a number of devs who were there and reiterated what you're saying. They said it was simply a Ripple marketing campaign, and there was a total disjoint between what people wanted, expected, and what they got. And I just wonder if this really kind of speaks to the frustration that that those devs that want to do something outside of what the XRPL is currently capable of doing, right? Payments, those 10 things that David Schwartz says that Ledger does really well. But they want to do, these group of devs want to do other things. They want to be Ethereum light. They want to be, the Turing complete, be able to and Ripple is not willing to change and do those kind of things. This is what it feels like this is to me, that it's about that. That's what it feels like to me. And David doesn't want to do that. He wants to stay in what he believes the XRPL does best. And if they're moving into tokenization, obviously the XRPL can do the tokenization of these real assets otherwise. It wouldn't make sense, right? So, or they're building stuff to make sure that it can get done. But they're not going to build stuff for other things. That's what it feels like to me again. But I wanted to share that because I think it's important to be fair, to share different perspectives, and let the individual retail investor decide for themselves. Let the community members decide for themselves. I personally, I'm in the camp that Ripple is going to win in the stable coin and in the tokenization of real assets. I'm in that camp of them winning, building this thing on the XRPL, and going from there. But for me, again, when this thing is over, the suit is over, this remedy thing is over, I will be nonstop asking about this liquidity token generation event, or liquidity incentive event is probably more appropriate for the XRPL and these liquidity pools. If they don't do it and they keep waiting for the institutions to come on here, for me, that will be a problem, a signal that they're not getting it. So there it is, fams. There it is. This wraps up your XRP Ripple Daily News in around 0 to 10 minutes. I hope that it has been of value to you. Again, happy Father's Day to each and every one of you. If it has been of value to you, do me a favor and hit that like button. And if you're in that 40 to 50% of people that are listening and watching and hanging out and haven't subscribed to the channel yet, if you're enjoying the hangouts with the Crypto Seeds, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and I, we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this, perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.